Have you ever felt like, growing up with a sibling with autism, probably your parents would spend more time, attention on your sibling that, needed more support, needed more care? And did you ever feel like, I crave that attention or things like that?
Actually, a lot of people ask this, and the normal perception would be, oh, the child might be neglected in a way. But I mean, for me, I don't think so, because in a way, my parents and I are one team, then we take care of him. So I don't feel like I'm on the other side. So, and in fact, I've been very blessed by my parents. They will still take care of me, make sure I have everything that I need, and then we take care of him together.
I've only met Alex and Lyvia just a few months ago. What made me got interested, ask Alex to be one of the guests, was that I remember going to Zara, his school. He briefly shared about experience of having an autistic brother.
Dear James, I actually never done this before. I just want you to know you are very important to us.
He was working in Singapore, and because of his brother, he left everything and came back to JB to support his brother. I was like, wow, how many brothers could do that? In that moment that I knew instantly that I would love to interview him and get to know his stories and his experiences of growing up with an autistic brother. I just met you guys a few months ago, and then I realized that, wow, it's so cool that Alex, you have a brother with autism. Yes. Lyvia, you have a brother with Down syndrome.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, I don't think I've met any couples with such an similar, growing up experience. And what was it like to grow up with a sibling with, autism and Down syndrome?
Because it's only me and my brother. So, but growing up, I mean, the common people would think is that I will be lonely. I have no one to talk to. But actually, that's not true. Yeah, actually, I remember a lot of my childhood with him. There was a lot of playing together, and of course, have to take care of him. So it's a different kind of memory. Yeah, but for me, I don't think I ever felt alone, or like there's a problem that my brother doesn't talk to me or what. Yeah, so my childhood was actually great with him. Yeah.
In your own words, how would you describe your brother?
I think to describe him, I think he's someone very loyal and faithful. Whatever the circumstance is, he is always there. Yeah, and now he's here for my parents as I move out already. So he's the one that is with them, and actually he's a very sensitive person. Yeah, so when we are actually struggling emotionally, or although we can suppress it, but he knows, so he will be quite disturbed. 对，从小他都很喜欢音乐，以前是 CD 啦，反正那边有 CD 的时候就卡拉 OK 哦，他就一回放学回来，他一定开的，一定开的。Almost 100% is true 啦。Yeah, that he knows that we are down, and then he will feel it, and he gets agitated. I guess, of course, he loves us lah, so he doesn't want us to experience that. Yeah, so I think to describe him would be very faithful and very sensitive. Yeah.
What was your initial impression on Alex's brother?
Even in our dating phase, I think we both shared that, we both had a special needs sibling, and I think that was what bonded us more in our shared understanding and experience. So I mean, yeah, it was nice meeting James, and I think he's very smart. He's really very smart. He knows a lot of things. He understands a lot of things, even though he doesn't communicate like how we do. But he understands like what you want him to do, so he can take instructions very well. And like Alex said, he's very sensitive to emotions. I think very sweet boy lah. He will like pray for you, like pray, put his hand on you and pray. Show his affection by like touch and just kiss, that kind of thing. So I think he's a very sweet and smart boy. Yeah.
He was diagnosed when he was about 5. I think growing up, it has shaped me to be a much more patient person and to really try to feel emotion or communication through observation. It is not talking to him, but try to feel more. So I think that helps me a lot as I grew up. I also become more sensitive towards people, and I can sense, gee, maybe this person is fine or not fine. It has definitely shaped me a lot. Something I'm always very thankful for. Yeah. You are the greatest gift our family could ever have. You have changed us, right, in ways we never expected, shaping us into who we are.
Of course, it is a blessing to grow up with a sibling with autism or Down syndrome, but I'm also sure there are a lot of challenges that comes with it. On top of your head, what were some of the challenges in that journey?
I think the toughest part was when he reached puberty. So it was the age of 14 to 18. Yeah, at that period, because of the hormone changes. I mean, of course, everybody goes through that, but for I think special need children is a little bit different, and the way they express is also different. So for James, it actually caused him to be a bit more aggressive. Yeah, so he do bite or scratch when he's not happy, when he's frustrated. And as he grew up, the strength also grew. So it's actually quite bad. Yeah, to a point where it's not a normal scratch, it's like deep scars and you can see blood and all. So and at the time I was in my uni and I was in Singapore actually, serving in a church, and I was studying also there. Although Singapore is near, but you still feel like you are out of country. So every time when my mom sent me photos of the marks, wow, I'll be like, wow, that's like I cannot be there. So I try to come back. So yeah, that was one of the toughest moments for me. Yeah.
As a brother, I'm sure that there are a lot of emotions, when you see situations like that happening. And how did you, support your brother or like your family, your parents in this area, especially in terms of like managing behaviors like that?
Of course, sometimes it's quite hard to do anything because you don't know when it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And even if I'm there, it's quite hard to stop him. He's very, very strong. Yeah, but of course, what I did was just more of just being here. We actually practice to remain calm. Don't hold him back. The more we try to push him or just hold against him, it gets worse. So we practice to just be calm. Yeah, together as a family. Of course, as a son, if I see my mom getting bitten, of course it is quite hard to just sit here and be calm. Yeah, but I learned it along the way that actually that helps him to cool off faster.
Chocolate. Wah, 对了，哥哥买的 chocolate 拿给爸爸吃。
this is something that I'm very curious about because as an adult, I think you would have that comprehension or even that empathy of, interacting with a person with autism. But as a young child, that have you ever wondered like, why is my sibling like special? Or like, why can't my sibling act normally like any other children,
I never asked myself why is he like that. It's just kind of, oh, he's my brother and that's it lah. Like I don't question why is he like that or why is he different. I don't have that memory lah. Yeah. But of course, as a child, I have to admit it's not compassion every day lah. There are days that I'm frustrated with him. There are days that he bite me, that I slap him. Yeah, there are days that I am angry also. Yeah, I remember a time where I was sleeping. I think I was 10 or 12 lah, around there. Because he sleeps with me. Yeah, so there was one night that he actually bit my eye when I was sleeping. So I woke up and I really just fight with him. Yeah, but I know he didn't do it intentionally. But at the moment, as a child, no lah. You still will react as a child. Yeah, only when I grew up, of course, I had better understanding lah.
Really not easy. Let's talk about myth. There are a lot of myths around autism. And Lyvia, I would love to, ask, are there any certain myths that surrounding about this diagnosis that you would love to debunk?
Okay, maybe some people would think that people who are on the spectrum, they don't understand a lot of things. But I think that they do. It's just that the way they see the world is very different. So they might not perceive in the same way as we do, but they have their own perceptions and their own understanding of the world. So it's not that they don't understand, but it's just different. So I think what we need to bridge is then the gap of their understanding and ours, and find a common ground. Yeah.
People would think that it is a liability lah to the family, but I really don't think so. And I've seen many other families or my own family that actually we've been more blessed and more, it kind of mold us and shape us to be better people. So yeah, I would say that yeah, it's not true lah. If you really go through the experience, it's actually a gift. Yeah.
I like pink. I like pink. I like
Alex, you're also a pastor. There are a lot of times, where people or parents might have this thought that, I have a child with autism and maybe that's because God is punishing me. Or it must be because I have sinned and therefore I have a child with autism. What are your thoughts on that?
Wow, that's a very good myth. Very good question. And but like I said, it's actually been a blessing because to share a story, actually we were not believers when I was born, but because of my brother, we had to search for a special needs school, which was run by a church at the time. Then since then, that is how we've come to know God. And that is how then our life started to change. And of course, me, going back to education to set up a school and then slowly became a pastor. I would say if without him, I don't know if it would happen. Yeah, so the myth of that it is a punishment, no lah. He would probably be the greatest gift that we had instead of punishment. Of course, I think as a parent, because I'm a sibling, of course, as a parent, I think you feel more that, wow, is it my problem? But no, I would really encourage every viewer, or for those who are listening, it is really, really not. Yeah, don't go to that route. I know you would at some point of time, but really remember that it is a blessing. Yeah.
哇，古装的 ，yes， 肥肥。阿公呢？你最喜欢看阿公了啊？北京楼，北京楼吃饭。
God loves children, right? You know, and He created us unique individuals, and I believe that, you know, maybe unique to Him comes in all kinds of abilities. So, yeah, you know, like Alex said, my brother also has been a huge blessing in our lives, and I really can't imagine otherwise.
Growing up with your brother James, how has it shaped or influenced you as an educator or founder of Sarah?
I think it has helped me a lot when it comes to really meeting parents and understanding every child, because I have lived with one for all my life. So when I teach, or when I meet parents, it is very natural for me to do it, like to teach children. I think it has helped me in having more compassion in terms of, even with parents. I think even parents need more support sometimes than the child. Yeah, it's not the child that needs it more when they come to a school. Sometimes parents need to be reminded that, or need to be supported, because it can be a lonely journey. Yeah, so I think it has helped me a lot in terms of having empathy. It makes your teaching different. Yeah.
What is one last advice or key message that you like to share with any sibling out there who has a sibling with autism?
I think don't be too burdened by it. Yeah, I think naturally siblings will feel like I need to take more responsibility at home and all. And of course, it's the right thing, but don't let it consume you. And remember that it shapes you more than it burdens you. Be there and also be a blessing to others and help other families. Yeah.
I think similar to what I said earlier, even though they are different, we just got to go and find. There are a lot of resources out there to really understand more about a certain condition, and I feel that there's nothing shameful, you know, if you don't know how to handle it. I think this is all new to us, and we're all learning how to navigate. So I feel that there's no shame if you don't know, but I think what's important is then find out, and how do you better navigate, how to be a better sibling, how do you better work around the differences, both our differences, and learn how to communicate in their way of communication. Yeah, because it can be frustrating, I think, if you don't understand, and that is where maybe all the frustrations, all the impatience, the feeling like it's a burden will come in. But I feel that once you really learn how to understand their way of seeing things, it really makes a lot of difference. And sometimes you might even learn a thing or two in seeing the world even in a more beautiful and brighter way. So yeah.
Do not be afraid to seek professional help. If you need a diagnosis, just go for it. Because I know there is a fear in that, or an avoidance. But no, your child needs that, right? So that when they go for therapy sessions, then the therapist or psychiatrist has better understanding of the child on a medical point of view, so that they can put the right treatment for them. So I would say really seek professional help. There are a lot actually if you really go and find them. Yeah.
Jinglong and Akong. Sayang Akong. Good boy. Sayang Akong. Sayang Akong.
You are an inspiration to what I do. I hope that your story will be impacted to many lives. I hope that you continue to find joy.
Yeah, so before we wrap up our conversation, I just want to say thank you so much for your time, for just sharing your thoughts, experiences, advices. I really think that this will really benefit a lot of families out there when they watch it. And just a little, I would love to share something as well. So last year, when I had the vision to do this project, I actually had in mind exactly who I want to invite. How many episodes how would that look like for this project? But I can't find the last guest. And it's not that I don't have candidates around, but I just didn't find the right one, or I didn't have the feeling of peace, And then until I met you guys, and when I briefly, heard your story, Alex, at Zara that day, how you had a brother with autism and how you left Singapore, everything, and came back for your brother. In that moment, I was like, I found my last guest. Yeah, so thank you so much. It means a lot to me, the team, and yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. Thank you also for being at home with dad and mom. It means a lot to me. So most of all, thank you for being such a great brother. Okay. Finish? Nice. Okay. Thank you. I love you. Okay.
Thank you so much for watching this week's episode with Alex and James. If you find this episode encouraging in any way, help us to reach more people by sharing this with your friends and family or post it on your social media. It will help us to reach more families that are in need. As for next week's episode, we are so excited because we have invited a consultant pediatrician who is very specialized in the topic of autism. Autism is not something to be fixed.
No. Yeah.
Not something needs to be cured.
Not at all.
So it simply means that they just are wired differently. Their brains
Correct. Yep.
work differently, they see the world differently, they learn differently, they play differently.
Precisely.
All right. She is greatly experienced in the field of autism and will be bringing lots of evidence-based and clinical point of view of the topic of autism. And this is an episode that you wouldn't want to miss, and I hope you will be joining us next episode again next week. See you then.